This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
They thought they'd get away with it until now. This is Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer.
120 new charges for sexual misconduct being levied at Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. Yeah, 120. 25 of those allegedly are minors as well, some going all the way down to the age of 9. The information in these suits has not yet been revealed, at least not at the time of this recording, but the attorney promises that you are going to be shocked by some of the names that are revealed in these 120 different lawsuits. Joining me to discuss, Jennifer Coffindaffer, retired FBI Special Agent. So obviously a lot of these are civil charges or civil suits that are being brought against Diddy. It's a logistical nightmare, number one. But number two, what is the FBI looking at with 120 more accusations coming their way? They already have a lot that they need to sift through. I imagine this just adds a whole big old pile of smelling horrible stuff onto the plates of the agents that are assigned to this case.
Yeah, well said. You know, the Department of Homeland Security agents have probably already know about this information, I believe. Again, the complaint that they filed and the indictment really was what they needed to get him locked up quickly. I think we can all expect so much more to come out. But I think the most interesting thing about these charges are the minors that are mentioned. I don't think this should be surprising to anyone after seeing some of the Bieber tapes and so on, but that is going to be the most serious part of these allegations.
And that's what we're just beginning to hear now. Allegedly, 25 of these new accusers were minors at the time of the alleged incidents, one as young as 9 years old. These are, like I said, these are civil suits. These are civil accusations that are being levied against Diddy. But I'm going to guess with the federal investigation that's going on into this, are they going to take a pretty close look at all of these accusations on a criminal level to see if there's merit to them?
100% they will. It's just like really Cassie Ventura, I think, that was the catalyst for this case to begin with. And then, of course, the other suits that took place right after that. So certainly the civil suits, they have so much information in them, and these civil suits have so much detail that couldn't be ignored really from a criminal standpoint. And I think that's why we are where we are today, and it's just going to continue.
There's actually a Diddy abuse hotline that has come to light in the last few days. The last I checked, I have no idea what it's going to be by the time anybody hears this, but 130,000 phone calls apparently have gone into it. And you got to assume, anytime you set something like that up, you're going to have a good chunk of them that are just bogus calls. But I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if 120 is literally, and I know tip of the iceberg is what we've been saying, but I feel like it's just an ice cube on this iceberg of Diddy.
I think you could be right. The problem is that the decades really of abuse that is at least alleged, it's just so many years. And when I say alleged, I'm not talking about necessarily the federal indictment, which also goes back years and years, but I'm talking about the alleged or the allegations made in all these civil suits. So because you have such a long span of time, you have so many victims that possibly suffered at his hands.
Strap in and get ready to go back in time. Gen X Time Machine is here to transport you back to the glorious days of neon, big hair, and cassette tapes that always needed rewinding.
To figure out where Tupperware went wrong, we kind of got to start at the beginning.
Remember when MTV actually played music videos? Or when lunch wasn't complete without Dunkaroos? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit like trying to recapture the magic of a bygone era.
Yeah.
We're diving into all that and more. So if you want to relive the 80s and 90s in all their retro glory, hit up Gen X Time Machine wherever you get your podcasts.
VHS is looking like the obvious winner, right?
Oh, and don't forget the rise of the video rental store. Remember?
Subscribe, because who doesn't need another excuse to avoid adulting? You're welcome. The Gen X Time Machine.